Hello and welcome to a video tutorial of Prompt Generator AI. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can work with strategies and how you can work with automation as well. So let's start off and give you an example of how this actually works. So I'll go over to automation, and this is where you're going to be able to pick what strategies you want to work with, what your keywords are, and any other things that are actually supported by the automation. So I'll go down here and I actually select one. I'm going to go ahead and select one down here called an optimization plan HTML, and I'm going to add 3 keywords down here. We can add a maximum of 5 keywords. Now this is the advantage of working with automation. It'll get everything will get done for you, saved over to the files, while you can go ahead and do other things as well, and you don't have to stand around and watch ChatGPT typing everything out. And I'll give you an example of this in a moment. So I'll type in 3 keywords. I'll do Ramadan, I'll do Islam, and I'll do Christianity. Okay, and I'm going to do a delay. Now these are the delays between the prompts, and I'm going to do a 1-second delay and a 2-second delay just for the video. And the retries in response is, let's say for example ChatGPT hasn't completed its response, then the software is intelligent enough to understand this, and it'll tell ChatGPT to continue. So how many times do we want the software to do this? Because sometimes ChatGPT does make mistakes as well. And I think 5 is usually sufficient down here. Okay, I'm going to use the same chat session down here. I'm not going to use ChatGPT 4. I've already selected the category and my strategy down here. I'll be talking to you about shortcodes later on, and I'm not going to be using a business profile. I want to save as text file. Now you can actually select how you want to save these, because you might have strategies in here that save as HTML. You might have strategies in here that save as CSV, or you're telling ChatGPT to output data as CSV. So you can actually save by that path what you want as well. Okay, so I'll actually save location down here. So I've got 3 keywords in here. I've selected a strategy, and I'm going to click on start, and we're going to see exactly how this works. So the first keyword was Ramadan that I actually gave it. So it's actually giving us a list of keywords down here. Now I know it's in HTML format, guys. I've actually told it to use HTML format, and I'm going to be showing you why I told it to use HTML format, and hopefully you'll understand in a second when I actually show you this as well. So it's given us categories down here as well, and it's given us blog posts. Okay, so that one's completed, and now it's doing it for Islam, the keyword Islam. And what we can do is we can actually go ahead and work with our browser. We can go ahead and do almost anything that we want to do while this is actually working away for us still. In fact, we can click on the X button, and this will minimize it to the system tray, but it is still working, guys. So I can come down here. Oops, let me just get out of here. I can come down here. I can do Prompt Generator AI show, and as you can see, it's still working for us down here. Okay, I can go over to the editor, and I can actually go ahead and import that over here. So it was Ramadan. I'll open that up, and as you can see, we've got keywords for Ramadan. Now you can see them in the style. So I do this so that it looks nice in the editor, and I can actually see keywords for Ramadan. I can see categories that would be applicable for a blog with this, and I can have and I've also got blog post titles down here as well. Okay, which is absolutely brilliant. And if I go over to import, I can go over to Islam, for example. Okay, and if I go over to the top, as you can see, this is completed as well. So this was actually still working in the other tab while I was actually exploring these results. Okay, so I've got keywords for Islam. So you've got Islam, Muslim, Allah, Prophet Muhammad, Quran, Sunnah. Okay, you've got categories that are applicable to this, and you've got blog post titles as well. Okay, if I go over to import and go over to Christianity, okay, you can see we've got keywords for Christianity. We have categories for Christianity, and we have blog post titles for Christianity as well. So the advantages of working with automation, even if it's only one prompt that you have in your strategy, is that you can do multiple keywords at the same time using that prompt. So you might have a prompt in there, for example, write an in-depth form article about keyword in a creative tone for entrepreneurs, use markdown format, start with a quote. And you might want to use that exact same prompt but for various different keywords, and this is where you'd work with strategies. Okay, so this was just an example of why strategies are so useful. Okay, another thing about strategies is let's actually go ahead and explore the strategies now. Okay, so I'll actually go over to strategies that are going to come with the software. So you're going to have a category called abs, and in that category, you're going to have 5 strategies down here. Okay, I think I've actually messed around with my strategies and even deleted a strategy, so I'm not going to have the same ones as you. Okay, but you're going to have these strategies down here. So if I actually have a look at local article, for example, and I'll click on edit, we can see this strategy is built up of one prompt only, and with that prompt there's an output. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how this works now. Okay, in fact, let's have a look at the let's continue with this. Now let's have a look at long tail article. I'll click on edit, and as you can see, we've got 2 prompts in this. Now this is 2 prompts in the one strategy, and the save output is identified long tail keywords output 1, article output 2. So let's have a look to see what prompt 1 is, what we're outputting in prompt 1. Okay, so it says identify a list of 10 long tail keywords related to my keyword, and then it says, and it's got the shortcode down here, keyword, and this shortcode here will be replaced with the keyword that you add when you're in the automation tab. Okay, and for those long tail keywords, we're saving them here. Okay, and we're saving them after we've added in our own text down here, and then we're adding the article, and then we're adding output 2. So if we have a look at output 2, or if we have a look at prompt 2, it says write a long form article. Basically in basic terms, it's saying write a long form article about the long tail keywords that you gave us from the first prompt. Okay, I'll give you an example of how this works now so that you can see exactly how it actually saves over as well. Okay, so this is a long tail article. We'll go over to automation. I'm going to go over to miscellaneous. No, I'm going to go over to abs, and I'm going to go over to long tail article. I'm only going to do one keyword this time, and I'll do about Ramadan, and I'll click on start. Okay, so it's saying on the very first prompt, it's saying identify a list of 10 long tail keywords related to my keyword Ramadan. So here's the identified keywords, and then it's saying write a long form article about those identified long tail keywords. Okay, and the software is going to go ahead and wait for ChatGPT to complete, and then it's going to go ahead and let us know that it's completed as well. So I'm going to show this in action right here, but just as I mentioned, you don't have to watch this. You can actually go ahead, you can continue with what you're doing, and you can let ChatGPT do it for 5 keywords at a time, or and just automate it for you, and then save it all over. Okay, and there you go, it's done. Okay, so if I go over to the editor, go over to import, that's this one here in Ramadan, and I'll pull it in. It's give us 599 words, and as you can see down here, it's got identified long tail keywords, output 1, article, and then it's got the article in output 2. Okay, so in the strategies tab, you're able to actually, if I go back over to abs, you're able to control how you want this saved. You don't have to save output 1 if you don't want to. You can if you want to, and this is how I'm actually trying to explain to you how it's actually done. And just to let you know, all these strategies that come with the software can actually be deleted as well, guys. So if you want to delete them, you can delete them. You can add up to 10 strategies in here, and then when you're on automation, just choose whatever strategy you want to work with. Okay, I'm going to show you one more strategy down here called local articles, and I'm going to load this up. I'm going to click on edit, and I'm going to load this up, and I'm going to show you what's happening down here. Okay, I'm not going to be able to go through all the strategies with you guys. There's some advanced strategies as well. So I do recommend that you join our Facebook group. When you join our Facebook group, I'll be able to share some advanced strategies in that group with you. Okay, but inside of here, what I want to point out is we have some various other shortcodes. So for example, we've got an area shortcode. We've got a city shortcode. A city shortcode as well. And then we've got the keyword shortcode. And then when you go down here even further, you've also got a business _ details shortcode as well. Okay, so when you're working with the automation tab, and let's say for example you're working with the local article tab, you had multiple keywords down there. First of all, I want to mention in the strategies tab, you can actually look at the system shortcodes. That is keyword and that is business details. And what this does, this controls when you're inside the automation tab is what your keywords are down here and what your business profile is down here as well. Okay, so I've got one business profile down here. You can come down here and add a, you might be generating articles for your locksmith business, in which case you can come along down here, add a profile down here for your locksmith business, and then when you're working with local articles, what's using your business details, you can actually go ahead and call that article down there. So anyway, you can click on shortcodes, and shortcodes itself is where your extra shortcodes are. So the extra shortcodes were city and area. Okay, so I'm going to give you an understanding of this. I think I've actually got a business profile down here that hopefully I can share with you. Business details, let's have a look. Okay, so here's some business details. I'll just copy it and I'll call this Plumbers for You. Okay, so in here I'm just saying name of business, Plumbers for You, years in business, 35 years, engineers type, professional and friendly, services offered, emergency plumbing, boiler installation, boiler repairs, leaking tap, showers, bathrooms and kitchens, target audience, homeowners and renters, extra details, awarded 5-star reviews and featured on TV. Okay, so let's just say, for example, this was a business that I was actually trying to generate articles for. I'll click on save. Okay, and what I can do now is I'll just tell it what my keyword is. So this is my keyword's going to be plumbers. Okay, and what I want to do now is I want to use shortcodes because this has shortcodes attached to it, and I'm going to go ahead and add details for this. So the city, I'm going to go ahead and add London, and I'm going to click on save. Okay, I'm going to use the same for all. So I'm going to create articles around London, and I'm going to use it for the same London city for all of them. And now I'm going to go over to area, and I'm going to do something like, I don't even know any areas in London. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change my city. I'm going to call it Peterborough. Okay, let's just do London. I'm sure I know some names. Okay, we'll do something like Erdington. We'll do Buckingham. Barnet. Okay, we'll do 3. Okay, so I'm going to click on save. Okay, so what we can see now is we'll go over to the city. We've got London. We'll go over to the areas, and we've added in these areas down here. Okay, what I can do now is tell the software I want to create 3 articles. Okay, about plumbers using my business profile, Plumbers for You. And I'm going to use the same chat session. I don't have to use the same chat session, but the reason I'm using the same chat session is because in the prompt, I'm telling it to generate a unique article to what it generated last. So this is why I want to use the same chat session. And I'm going to click on start. And if we come down here, we're going to be able to see down here, it's got my business profile details down here in the prompt, as you can see. And here we go, plumbers. Your go-to solution for plumbing emergencies in Edinburgh, as a homeowner renter in Erdington. Okay, and as you can see, it goes at Plumbers for You. We have been serving whatever, and it's going to come down here and it's going to give you some local attractions and whatever we have inside of that prompt, and then it's going to go ahead and create the next article for us as well. And this time it's going to do it for Buckingham in London. The first one was for Erdington in London. Okay, so anyway, this is how it would work. I'm going to click on, if you ever want to stop this, all you have to do is go into automation and click on stop. Okay, now this automation from the software side has been stopped, but ChatGPT, you still got to get it to stop if you wanted it to stop. Okay, and the software is going to go ahead and generate each one of these as an article or a text file itself. So it'll have one text file for each area. So it'll have one text file for Erdington, one for Buckingham, and one for Barnet. Okay, so and when you're working with strategies, then you can actually add your own shortcodes in here. So you might want to add shortcodes in here, such as tone or such as audience. And when you're doing that, it's going to allow you to generate articles. And in the automation tabs, when you go over to shortcodes, you're going to be able to go ahead and pull those shortcodes up, and you're going to be able to fill them with whatever you want. And it's really cool, and it's really intuitive in the way it actually works, but I'm not able to actually go over everything in this video. So I do recommend that you join us in the Facebook group. You're going to be able to speak with me. You're going to be able to ask me questions. I'm going to be able to share other videos with you and other strategies as well. If I have a look at this strategy, for example, or when you're actually working with strategies, you're able to pull in strategies from files. So if I show you some of these prompts, so I've got this content prompt down here. I've got this one here, 5 blog articles. For example, if you have a look at this one, this was kind of like going overkill, but it goes, this is a 5-6 prompt in one strategy. So it's got create a list of 5 engaging blog titles related to keyword, okay, ranked in order of popularity, provide the 5 results only. And then it says, write a long form informative article for researchers written in a professional tone about blog title 1. So it's telling it to write about the blog title, or the first blog title that he actually gave us from the first prompt, and the article should include FAQs, related questions, and then it's telling it some other details, and then it's saying smoothly introduced blog title 2, and the second one it says smoothly introduced blog title 3 and blog title 4, blog title 5. So what you can do with this is, let's say for example this is on one line, okay, so I've added 1 prompt per a line, guys. What I can do is I can actually import this. So I'm going to go over to strategies, and I'm going to go over to, in the miscellaneous category, I'm going to add a new strategy. I'm going to call it 5 blog post titles, okay, and I'm going to go over to import. Before I go over to import, I'll quickly go on, copy the location, okay, so that was here, 5 blog articles, and I'll click on open. And as you can see down here, we've now got all of those as 1 prompt each, okay. And if I click on generate shortcodes, the software is telling us that we've got 6 outputs that we can generate. Now what do we want to save? So I can actually save this if I want. The output for this is going to be 5 blog post titles, okay. The output from this is only going to be the first part of the article, the second part of the article, the third, fourth, fifth, okay. So I want to save all parts of the article. So I don't have to save this one though, because this is only giving me the titles. But what I can do is I can separate it. So I can say something like titles, okay, and then under here I can say something like article. In fact, guys, I'm going to run this just so that we get an understanding of how this works. Okay, but before I run this, I'm going to show you something else as well. Okay, I'm going to go over to miscellaneous, and I've got this 1 prompt down here called optimization plan HTML. I'll click on edit, and as you can see down here, I've got this massive prompt down here, and this is actually a 3-shot prompt. I'm giving it 3 examples of what I want, and then I'm telling it in this one here, as you can see, this is actually highlighted in green, and then I'm telling it to go ahead and do it for each keyword. And it's going to give me the results. And this was the results that we saw in the very first video, or in the very first example, when I showed you about Ramadan, Islam and Christianity. Okay, and I'm telling it to use this on a new keyword prompt. What this means is that we're priming ChatGPT with how we want our data to be outputted to us, and then we're telling it to go ahead and output it for various different keywords without having to continuously prime it all the time. Okay, it might sound a little bit complicated at the moment. That's because you haven't tested it out, but I will be sharing more video tutorials in the Facebook group, so do be sure to actually join that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to automation, we're going to go over to the miscellaneous one, and we're going to go over to that 5 blog post titles, and we're going to do something like SEO, and I'm going to save it over down here, guys, and we're going to see how this works now. Okay, so now it's giving us 10 nicely optimized titles, and then it's going ahead and creating an article about the first title that it gave us, and then it's going to smoothly introduce title number 2, and it's going to use markdown format. But this can take fairly long, but I just want to give you an example. What we'll do, we'll wait until it gets over to the next prompt in the strategy, because there's like 5 prompts in here that's going to continue to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this, guys, for now, because And I'm going to tell the software here as well, stop. If not, it's going to continuously tell it to generate. Okay, so what this is allowing us to do is it's allowing us to import all of those prompts or all those lines as one prompt. But what you saw here, okay, and I just want to quickly bring this to your attention again, is this was a large prompt down here, and this was a 3-shot prompt, and this 3-shot prompt was done on multiple lines. And the way I've done this is I'll go over to content. Sorry, I'll go over to my prompts and I'll actually show you that prompt down here. So here it is, optimization plan HTML. So if you have a look, I added the tag prompt from where my prompt starts and added all of these shots down here, examples of what I wanted. And then I closed it off with my prompt. Okay, and then the second one, I added keyword, prompt. Okay, wrapped it around. By wrapping it around, it means you can use multiple lines when you're importing your prompts, which is really cool, guys. So I thought I'll just share that with you. You can do them one per line, which will mean without wrapping them up, and that will mean each line is going to be a prompt. Alternatively, you wrap them up in the prompt tag, and that will allow you to wrap up your prompt into the one prompt, which is really, really cool. And that's something that I thought I'll just share with you down here. So anyway, this is how you work with the software. You're allowed to have up to 10 strategies. You can delete strategies that I've already added down here for you, and you can also go ahead, add your own categories and add your own strategies down here as well. And you can create 5 articles at a time, and you can create up to 5 if using shortcodes as well, 5 articles at a time as well. So it's really cool, and I would recommend you get yourself access to the plus version. It's only $20 per month, guys. Now the advantage of the plus version is it works faster, and at the same time you do have access to ChatGPT-4, but ChatGPT-4 you only get 25 messages every 3 hours, and it is very slow. But the default version, when you're working with the plus, it's very fast compared to the normal version that the free users get. But you can work with this either way, guys. Whether you're working with the free version, whether you're working with the paid version, it works, and it works well. So anyway, I really hope you enjoy working with Prompt Generator AI. In the Facebook group, I'm hoping that we can share strategies that are working really well for us. I mean, if you have a look at these, if you have a look at the 3-shot prompts, now this is where we're getting really precise with how we want to actually get ChatGPT to generate our content. It's really cool, because what I've done down here is I've given myself, let's just say for example I had a brand new website, and it was about, I don't know, it was about something that I wasn't too sure about. I'm telling ChatGPT to give me a list of keywords for that website. I'm telling it to give me a list of categories for that website, and I'm telling it to give me a list of blog post titles for that website as well, and it's all done in the format that I want, and you can continue and add on to this, and you can tell it to give you meta descriptions, and you can give it to give you meta titles, and you know, all sorts of other things down here. So then you've got a whole entire website keyword blueprint that includes blog post titles, meta descriptions, and everything that's ready to go for somebody to go ahead and generate websites for you, full of 20 posts, you know, which is brilliant. So yeah, anyway, I really hope you enjoy working with this. I will be sharing more videos with you in the Facebook group, and the next video I'll be looking at how to work with the editor.